Hi, good evening. It's Nafisa, nurse with Excelsior University. I am doing my assignment for Module 4 for my outcome achievement reflection. So for the first prompt, it is asking us to reflect by telling us what's going on well in class or clinical. So I am here in Syracuse, New York. I have finished my clinical for the weekend. It went really good. The instructor was great. All the patients were great, and it was a great learning experience overall. Now think back to a clinical practice experience where you demonstrated one of the 4 ethical principles. I would definitely say this weekend I used autonomy by doing our head-to-toe assessments and asking patients questions and documenting their vitals and just getting more hands-on experience with doing those head-to-toe assessments and understanding lab values and reporting anything that I might see to the nurse. So I definitely would say I used autonomy this weekend by doing that. What and where and who the situation. Describe a situation where things went well or wrong. I would say with all my patients this weekend, nothing went wrong. Unfortunately, some of them did have, some surgeries, some post-op stuff going on, a lot of fractures. So overall, a lot of them were working hard to be able to get home and doing what the doctors asked them to do, except for one patient. But other than that, everybody was just ready to get home. And if they needed to ambulate, they were walking down the halls. And, they were just doing what they needed to do to get home. How did this make you feel, your emotional state about the situation? It made me feel like I was really making a difference this weekend. Just being able to be involved in the patient's care and listen to the nurses talk and to the doctors and, giving them their baths and changing their sheets, things like that. It just made me really feel good as a nurse this weekend. Did the situation make you feel good or bad about being a nurse? No, it made me feel really good overall. Like I said, I just loved being involved this weekend. Why did it happen? Making sense of the situation. Did the situation go well, or was there room for improvement? Overall, this weekend was a learning experience. I don't think there was anything that I could have done different. Again, as a student, you're limited to only do so many things. And I made sure I abided by that. I made sure I asked questions if I had them, and everything went really well. Why did it happen? Making sense of this situation. Is there anything you would have did that was important in this situation? Just making sure that I document everything, and that if I did notice anything abnormal, I went straight to the nurse so that they would know. Even with one patient who wanted to refuse their medications, I made sure the instructor knew and that the nurse knew, so that they can document it appropriately in his chart. What will you do differently in the future? How will you change? How will this change your practice? What knowledge, skills, or attitude would you need to better manage a situation like this? Again, once I become an RN, I know that I'm going to be responsible just to do more. I'll have more under my belt. So I just plan on practicing those skills and do my continued learning so I can get better understandings. And, overall, that's my plan to help improve with my skills. What happens when you put this into practice? How has this situation made you a better nurse? Again, the clinical this weekend was really good. It gave me a lot of education, a lot of teaching with the instructors, with the nurses. Some of the nurses really took their time to sit there and explain things, which I really appreciated. And overall, just having some really good patients. The patients were very polite, and overall, they just wanted to go home, and, they were just really good. And I wish them a speedy recovery for all of them. Was there a person who helped in this situation that may have gone unnoticed or unacknowledged? No. From me and my cohorts and the professor, the instructor, everybody involved was wonderful, including the nurses and the staff. I really enjoyed myself this weekend. Bye.